Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English the Natural Way. I'm Alex.
And I'm Linda. We're so glad you're joining us today.
If you're enjoying our podcast, please subscribe and share it with your friends learning English.
Your support really means the world to us. Thank you so much.
Today, we're talking about something very practical and important for everyone.
That's right. We're discussing English at the bank.
Linda, you look a bit stressed today. What happened?
Oh, Alex, I had such an awkward moment yesterday at the bank. I'm still thinking about it.
Tell me what happened. I'm listening.
Well, I walked up to the counter and the bank staff smiled and asked, "How can I help you today?"
That's a normal greeting at banks.
Yes, but then I wanted to put money into my account and I completely forgot the English word for it.
Oh no, what did you say instead?
I stood there for a few seconds feeling embarrassed, and finally I said, "I want to give money to my account. Put it inside."
Oh dear, that must have felt uncomfortable.
It really was. The staff member looked confused for a moment, then smiled and helped me anyway.
Well, at least they understood what you meant.
True, but I felt so embarrassed. I studied English for years, and I couldn't remember one simple word.
Don't worry, Linda. This happens to everyone, even advanced learners. Banking vocabulary can be tricky.
That's exactly why we're doing this episode today.
Absolutely. Everyone needs to use a bank at some point in their lives.
Whether you're traveling, studying abroad, or living in an English-speaking country, you need English banking.
And here's the good news. Bank conversations are actually simple once you know the basic phrases.
Really? That makes me feel better.
Yes, banking language is very repetitive and predictable. You use the same phrases over and over.
So today, we'll teach our listeners how to open an account, deposit money, withdraw cash, and speak confidently with bank staff.
Let's start with the very basics. Linda, imagine you just moved to a new city and need to open a bank account.
Okay, I'm ready. What's the first step?
First, you choose a bank. There are many banks, so do some research about fees and services.
Good idea. Then I walk into the bank. What do I say?
You approach the counter or reception desk and say, "Hello, I would like to open an account, please."
That sounds simple and polite.
It is. A bank account is where your money is kept safely by the bank.
Are there different types of accounts?
Yes, there are. The most common is a checking account. People use it for daily spending, paying bills, and receiving their salary.
So my monthly salary would go into my checking account.
Exactly right. Another common type is savings account. This is for money you want to save for the future.
I see. So checking is for everyday spending and savings is for long-term saving.
Perfect understanding. Many people have both types of accounts at the same time.
That makes sense. So I tell the staff I want to open a checking account. What happens next?
The staff will ask for identification documents. Usually they need a passport or driver's license.
Do they need anything else besides identification?
Yes, sometimes they ask for proof of address, like a utility bill, rental contract, or bank statement from another country.
What if I don't understand something on the application forms?
Just ask. You can say, "Excuse me, what does this mean?" Or, "Could you explain this part, please?"
That's really helpful. I always worry about asking questions because I don't want to seem stupid.
Never worry about that. Bank staff hear these questions every single day. They want you to understand everything clearly.
That makes me feel much better. So after I fill out all the forms correctly, what happens next?
The staff will process your application and set up your account. This usually takes a few minutes.
And then they give me an account number.
Yes, your account number is a long number, usually between 8 and 12 digits, that identifies your specific account.
It's like my account's unique name.
Exactly. You'll use this number when receiving money from others or when making transfers.
Should I memorize this number?
It's helpful, but you can also find it on your bank statements and your debit card. Write it down somewhere safe.
What else do I receive when I open an account?
You'll get a debit card. It's a plastic card you can use to pay for things in stores or get cash from machines.
Can I use this card at ATMs?
Absolutely. ATM stands for Automated Teller Machine, but everyone just says ATM.
That sounds very technical and complicated.
It does, but you don't need to remember the full name. Just say ATM and everyone understands.
Good to know. And my debit card comes with a PIN, right?
Correct. PIN means personal identification number. It's usually a secret 4-digit code that only you know.
Like 1234 or 5678?
Please don't use those numbers. They're too easy to guess and not secure at all.
Good advice. I'll choose something more secure that only I can remember.
Perfect. And remember, you should never share your PIN with anyone, not even bank staff.
Never? Not even if they ask?
Real bank staff will never ask for your complete PIN. If someone asks, it might be a scam.
That's important to know. My PIN keeps my money safe.
Exactly. You use your PIN when you pay with your card in stores or when you use an ATM.
Now, let's talk about the word I forgot yesterday at the bank.
Ah, yes, the word deposit. That's the word you were looking for.
Deposit. Yes, that's it. What exactly does deposit mean?
Deposit means putting money into your bank account. It's the opposite of withdrawal.
Can I deposit both cash and checks?
Yes, you can deposit cash, checks, or even money orders. How do I ask for this service at the bank?
Just say, I would like to make a deposit, please, or I need to deposit some money.
That sounds simple enough. What happens next?
The staff will ask, which account would you like to deposit into? You tell them checking or savings.
And then I give them the cash or check.
Yes, they count the money carefully, process the transaction, and give you a receipt.
Should I keep the receipt?
Always. The receipt is proof of your transaction. Keep it until you see the money in your account.
Can I also deposit money at an ATM instead of going inside the bank?
Absolutely. Many ATMs now allow deposits, which is very convenient.
How does that work exactly?
You insert your debit card, enter your PIN code, and select Deposit from the menu.
Then what happens?
You put the cash into the machine, usually in a special slot or envelope. The machine counts it automatically.
That sounds really convenient, especially after banking hours.
It is. The money is usually available in your account within 1 business day.
Now let's talk about taking money out of the account.
That's called a withdrawal, right?
Exactly. Withdraw means to take money out of your bank account.
How do I ask for this politely at the bank?
You can say, I would like to make a withdrawal, please, or I need to withdraw some money.
Both sound professional. Can I withdraw money from any ATM?
Yes, that's the most common and convenient way. Most people use ATMs for withdrawals.
How does the ATM process work?
First, you insert your debit card into the machine. Then you enter your PIN code.
And then I select Withdraw from the menu?
Correct. The machine will ask how much money you want to withdraw.
I choose an amount like $20, $50, $100, or $200.
Exactly. You select the amount you need, and the cash comes out along with a receipt.
It's like magic. Can I take out more money than I actually have in my account?
Sometimes you can, but that's called an overdraft, and it's not a good idea.
Why not? What's an overdraft?
An overdraft means spending more money than you have in your account. The bank allows it, but charges expensive fees.
So a fee is an extra cost or charge?
Exactly. Overdraft fees can be very high, sometimes $30 or $40 for each transaction.
That's expensive. So it's important to know my balance before withdrawing money.
Absolutely right. Your balance is how much money you currently have in your account.
How can I check my balance?
You can check it at any ATM. Just select Check Balance from the menu and the amount appears on the screen.
Can I also check it online?
Yes, through online banking. You can use your phone or computer to manage your account anytime.
What else can I do with online banking?
You can check your balance, see all transactions, pay bills, and make transfers to other accounts.
That sounds incredibly useful and convenient.
Let's talk about transfers now. This is very important.
What exactly is a transfer?
A transfer means moving money from one account to another account.
Like moving money from my checking account to my savings account.
Yes, that's called an internal transfer because it's between your own accounts at the same bank.
What about sending money to another person?
That's also a transfer, but to an external account.
How do I do that at the bank?
You say, I would like to make a transfer, please.
What information does the bank need?
They need the recipient's account number. That's the person who will receive the money.
Do they need anything else besides the account number?
Sometimes they also need a routing number, which identifies the bank where the account is located.
So the account number identifies the person and the routing number identifies the bank.
Perfect explanation, Linda. Then you tell them how much money you want to transfer.
Like, I want to transfer $500 to this account number.
Exactly right. That's clear and correct.
Alex, what if something goes wrong with my account? Like if I lose my debit card?
That can happen, and it can feel very stressful. But don't panic.
What should I do first?
First, stay calm. Then contact the bank immediately, either by phone or in person.
What exactly should I say?
Say, I lost my debit card. I need to cancel it, please. Or, I need to report a lost card.
What does cancel mean in this situation?
Cancel means stopping the card from working. The bank will deactivate your old card immediately.
So nobody can use my lost card?
Exactly. Then the bank will send you a new card with a new number within a few days.
That makes me feel more secure. What if I see a transaction on my account that I don't recognize?
That's a serious concern. You should report it immediately.
What should I say to the bank?
Say, I see a charge on my account that I didn't make. Can you help me investigate this?
That sounds very professional and polite.
The bank will investigate the transaction. They take these reports very seriously.
What if it's fraud? What does fraud mean?
Fraud means someone used your card or account information without your permission to steal money.
That sounds scary.
It can be, but banks have strong security systems. If they confirm it's fraud, they will usually reverse the charge and return your money.
That's good to know. What about general questions about my account?
You can call the customer service number. It's usually printed on the back of your debit card.
What do I say when someone answers?
Just say, hello, I have a question about my account. Or, I need help with my account, please.
Will they ask me anything to verify my identity?
Yes, they'll ask security questions to confirm you're really the account holder.
Like what kind of questions?
They might ask for your full name, date of birth, address, or the last 4 digits of your account number.
This protects my account from unauthorized access?
Exactly. It's for your security and protection. Let's talk about one more important thing, your bank statement.
I've heard this term before. What exactly is a bank statement?
A statement is a document that shows all your account transactions for a specific time period.
How long is the time period usually?
Usually 1 month. It shows everything that happened in your account during that month.
What kind of information does it include?
It shows all deposits, withdrawals, transfers, fees, and your account balance.
Does it show both the starting balance and ending balance?
Yes, exactly. You can see how much money you had at the beginning of the month and at the end.
Where can I get my bank statement?
Some banks still send paper statements by mail to your home address.
What about electronic statements?
Most banks now offer electronic statements. You can receive them by email or access them through the banking app.
Why is the bank statement important?
It helps you track your spending and see exactly where your money goes each month.
Can I also check for errors or mistakes?
Absolutely. You should review your statement carefully every month to find any unauthorized or incorrect charges.
So reading my statement every month is a good habit?
It's an excellent habit. Many people ignore their statements, but that's a mistake.
I'll definitely start checking mine regularly from now on.
Alex, do you have any tips for our listeners about banking in English?
Yes, I have several tips. First, write down useful phrases on your phone or in a notebook.
Mike, which phrases?
Phrases like, I would like to open an account, or I need to make a deposit, and can you help me with this?
That's excellent advice. Having these phrases ready helps when you feel nervous.
Exactly. When we're nervous or stressed, we often forget even simple words.
What's your second tip?
Don't be afraid to ask people to repeat themselves or speak slower.
What can listeners say in that situation?
They can say, "I'm sorry, could you repeat that, please?" Or, "Could you speak a little slower, please?"
Bank staff will always understand and help. They deal with many different customers every day.
My third tip is to practice at ATMs first before talking to bank staff.
Why is that helpful?
Because ATMs use simple, clear English, and you can take your time without feeling pressured.
That's smart. You can practice checking your balance, making withdrawals, and deposits.
Yes, and this builds confidence for when you need to speak to real people.
I really like that idea. Do you have any other tips?
Yes, one more important thing. Learn the difference between debit cards and credit cards.
Many people find this confusing. What's the difference?
A debit card uses money that's already in your bank account.
And a credit card.
A credit card borrows money from the bank. You pay it back later, usually with interest.
What's interest?
Interest is extra money you pay for borrowing. It's like a fee for using the bank's money.
So if I have $500 in my account, I can spend up to $500 with a debit card.
Correct. But with a credit card, you can spend more than you have and pay it back later.
That sounds convenient, but also dangerous.
It can be dangerous if you spend too much and can't pay it back. The interest charges add up quickly.
So for beginners, which is better?
For beginners, I recommend starting with a debit card and a simple checking account.
Keep it simple at first?
Exactly. Simple is good when you're learning.
Well, Linda, we've covered so much information today about banking in English.
We really have. I feel much more confident now about going to the bank.
Let's quickly review the most important vocabulary we learned today.
Good idea. We learned words like account, checking account, and savings account.
We also learned deposit, withdrawal, transfer, and balance.
Don't forget PIN, ATM, debit card, and credit card.
We talked about statements, fees, overdrafts, and fraud.
And important phrases like, "I would like to open an account," and "Can I make a deposit, please?"
That's a lot of useful vocabulary.
Yes, but every single word and phrase we taught today is practical and useful in real life.
You'll actually use these words when you go to a bank.
Before we finish, we have a question for all our listeners.
Yes, we'd love to hear from you.
Have you ever had a funny, awkward, or interesting experience at a bank in English?
Maybe you forgot a word like Linda did, or maybe something else happened.
Write to us in the comments or send us a message. We read every single comment.
Your stories help us understand what's difficult for learners, and that helps us create better content.
And please don't forget to subscribe to English the Natural Way.
Click that subscribe button. It's free, and it really helps us continue making these podcasts for you.
Give this episode a like if you found it helpful and useful.
And share it with your friends who are learning English. Maybe they're nervous about banking too.
We want to build a wonderful community of confident English learners.
You're all doing amazing work with your English. Every day you're improving.
Banking vocabulary might seem difficult and confusing now, but soon it will feel natural.
Just keep practicing, keep listening, and keep speaking. Don't be afraid of mistakes.
I forgot the word deposit at the bank and I survived.
Exactly. And now you'll never forget that word again.
Never. It's burned into my memory forever.
That's exactly how we learn, through experience and practice.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
We really appreciate each and every one of you listening.
We'll see you very soon in our next episode of English the Natural Way.
Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and stay confident in your English journey.
Take care of yourselves, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.